Good morning, everyone. James Halliday here, Executive Director at A Reason to Survive. You're in our atrium, and I'm excited to be your host today for our open house. First off, I know that this is a difficult time for a lot of us. With heavy hearts, we went to sleep, and waking up might even be more difficult. So I want to recognize the unbelievable commitment of our first line responders, our frontline workers, and everyone who's essential in our society. And I want to take a moment of silence at the beginning to recognize both everyone who's given their life, lost their life during this terrible pandemic, and also all of our black brothers and sisters who have fallen in the country in not just the last few days, but over the past few years. Thanks. Thank you. We're on native land, and we want to recognize that as well. It's important that we're stewards of this, and that this space and everything we do builds on the spirits and shoulders of those who came before us. So I want to recognize that as well. There's great things to be hopeful about. And the stories that you're going to hear today, the voices, the works of art by young people, the incredible effort of families, our teaching artists and our team here, are the positives that we see and can contribute in our communities and in the larger world. And we hope that through everything you see, it'll provide some uplift in what is a difficult time for so many of us. Arts has been around for almost 20 years. Next year is going to be our 20th anniversary, and as we walk into the space today, first and foremost, it's a sanctuary. The founder of the organization was celebrating his mom who lost a battle with cancer, a sister who battled and won, and it really embodies the fact that this organization is about two things: creativity through the arts and a deep and abiding sense of care that comes in looking after the mental, behavioral, physical, and spiritual lives of the young people and their families that we serve. You may know us as a creative arts organization with after-school programs and thriving, innovative community art projects, but the relationships matter most. So what you're going to see, again today, is the fruit of those relationships. I'll tell you a little bit about the day ahead. And to do that, I want to tell you a little bit about what we've gone through in these past few months, what we've all gone through in making this shift to the world before COVID, to the world we're living in now. Now, I took off this mask to share this with you now, and it's probably been too long without a mask, I realize that. But I'm going to go on just a little bit longer, and I'll put it back on. Arts at Home launched in early April as a response to this pandemic. We had to close the center and stop our programs, and that meant going online. But we wanted to maintain that connection with the young people and families that we were serving. And to preserve that sense of community, we took 10 classes virtual. It meant meeting on Zoom, which I'm sure at this point we all have plenty of fatigue around, but that's what we've done. And for 6 weeks, each class met 8 to 12 times with a teaching artist to explore the visual arts, digital media and design, and music. And again, you're going to get a sense of all those things today. I'll be your host for the next hour or so. And as we go around the space, you're going to meet our teaching artists and see the work of art that hangs, that has been recorded, and is going to be produced. And I'm really excited to take you on that tour. You can't see them right now, but the team from Futures Past is behind the camera, and they've been so wonderful to contribute their time and expertise in recording today. So thank you very much for tuning in. Welcome to Arts, and let's go.
Okay, let's see who we have here. Looks like we have Daniela. Looks like we also have Diego.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Hello.
Hello. It's really good to see all of your faces. So welcome to our third week. Let's see, Nadia's here, Daniela's here.
What I promised is this week is I was gonna give like a presentation of what a stream would look like. All we're asking you guys to do is just give us a short presentation of something that you can do in a stream. But there's something that I remember when we were in class that you did that was great. You were drawing last time when you were playing Chill Beats. I think that'd be so cool. There's a famous, before even streaming, there's somebody who was doing this and we all love him to this day. Bob Ross.
Arts has impacted me significantly and that has taught me so much beyond just pen and paper. It's taught me to take a more open-minded approach to art and trying out new things and taking risks. But most of all, that they're here to help you out every single step of the way.
Hey Michelle, how you doing?
Good, and you?
Good. We are preparing for our recital. That was really good. Do you think we can do it on the boat?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay. I love your enthusiasm.
All right, good to have everyone. So, does everyone have pencil and paper today? Start off with a warm-up exercises. Look at that, and cool stances, and then I like your power effect. It's just like a mountain of flame. Very cool. Nice.
Arts has a special part in my heart, and it makes my life very wonderful. I fell in love with arts, and it fully changed my life.
I'm almost finished with it. It's a pretty quick sketch-ish. It's not exactly done yet.
Oh,
that's awesome.
That looks really good.
That's great.
Thank you.
No, seriously, and dude, I would so rather have you like draw it and have it be your creation.
By going to arts, I met the most supporting and caring people the world has ever seen.
Today we are getting into our windows. So from where you're sitting right now, do you have a window in your room?
Yeah.
Yes, but it's covered.
Or does anybody not have a window? So someone has notifications going off. It's like, ta-da! I mean, it's great. After everything I say, a little boost. So I thought that, most of us are staying in our house and kind of we have like the same view every day. Is there a particular view that you have in your house that's boring? You're going to take the window and you're going to alter it somehow.
Hey girls, thank you for coming back. So we'll do a quick check-in. We'll start with you, Ayana. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Great.
I'm doing good. I'm spending time with my wonderful cat.
Oh my god, you guys and your cats. So for the class, I have your photos guide. I love it. I live for it. I'm just loving it. I'm really, really loving it.
We may be having a special guest, Maggie. So if you see a Catherine Brannon come in,
Sure.
She's a friend of mine. She's an illustrator. I was hoping to share with Marvik and Dave and see her work personally. Oh, here's Catherine.
So this is where it all started.
It's a Sunday Mouse. It's an honor and privilege to work with you guys. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, I think we can end there. Again, this very moment is a great way to end our day. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Sam. I'm a board member here at Arts, and I decided to support the organization and become a board member because I feel like there's just less and less things that we can all agree on anymore, and I think that art being valuable and being really worthwhile for everyone and helpful to everyone is something that we can still agree on, and that's why I'm here.
Hi, my name is Albert Sangaya. I'm the Arts After School Coordinator. I manage all the after-school programs here at Arts. I provide support for our teachers and our students, and I'm also a teaching artist. So arts to me is a wonderfully safe space that even when I was a kid, I would have loved to have been part of. I'm glad that as an adult, I'm able to play this role to support our students, to provide them a space where they could be creative, they could express themselves in a way that's safe without being ridiculed or teased or anything like that. So this is what arts means to me, and I'm glad to be a part of this awesome organization for the past 6 years.
Hi, my name is Nadia. Welcome to Arts. And I just want to share as a parent and as a community member, I have really seen what arts can do for our community and our kids and how it can transform lives and spaces. So please come to our open house.
we're in the gallery now, and I want to introduce you to Angela Santora, teaching artist who led our art buffet class for the 3rd and 4th graders. These are the youngest young people we were working with, and you're going to meet both Angie and Rodney, who led our elementary classes. So I'm going to turn it over to Angie to talk about art buffet and everything she did in that class.
Hi, my name is Angie. I was so thrilled to get to work with 3rd and 4th graders at Arts this semester. We haven't had that age group here in quite a while, so it was very exciting. And the most important thing to me was just having these students feel safe and happy in the space, get to socialize, be creative, and like just be in a place where they felt like they can really express themselves. So behind me is the very first piece that we worked on as a group. So this is day 1. Almost none of the students had ever taken an art class before. Some of them knew each other, but for the most part, we were all strangers. So my goal was to just like shake off all the nerves and like give them a chance to be really, truly expressive. I find that a lot of times students in school, they may have art classes, but they're mostly working on small little projects by themselves. Their 8x11 piece of paper, their pencil. So how can we show them there's more, and you're allowed to be messy and have fun and just kind of like thrive in your art making with other people. So I'll walk you through how we completed this piece. We played a little game. So we had a hat or a bucket, and you were going to choose out of the hat your direction. So, I don't know if this is awkward. You choose your direction, square. Before you make your mark on the canvas, I made them dance. So we had hip hop beats playing. You had to show me your best like swagger move, approach the canvas, and make your mark. So we did several rounds of this, and by the end of it, like we were laughing, kids were falling on the floor. It was just so much fun. And we actually created like a rather balanced piece. We talked about the use of cool and warm colors, and how to kind of bring everything together with some balance and some black line work. Everybody signed it at the end, which was lovely. And you know, throughout the course, most of our projects were, we can cut this, right? Yeah, sorry.
Just start at the top of your like most complete dot, and we'll go through again.
Okay, cool. So I also wanted to share with you the importance of just, you know, patience and kind of like resilience within young people to just approach their projects in their own time. So I just wanted to share a story about one of my students who had a very bad experience with art at a very young age in kindergarten and was actually like terrified to draw. He would sit at the table, pen shaking, sometimes not even picking up the pencil or paintbrush. And after about 3 classes, he did this. We were sketching succulents, and he just like went for it. This is a kid who almost couldn't even speak when asked or given directions for a project or asked if he needed help. And the lines that he made are confident. There's no light sketching. He like just went for it. And I was so proud of that moment to just see him getting a direction and just feeling confident enough and safe enough to try. So this was a very special moment for me, and that is the beauty of creating creative spaces like this. We just give everybody a chance to take their own time, and they can make beautiful things. Okay, so after about 7 weeks of classes together, we had to discontinue. Everybody was staying in uncertain times. I think for my students, once we were able to come back and see each other online, it was a little weird, but the happiest moments were just sharing what we were doing with our days, what our pets were doing, whose little brother was being annoying. And it was just fun to see everybody's faces and talk about our art, talk about what we were doing at home. For me personally, I had never taught online and don't do much work online anyways, so it was a big adjustment. And I was very thankful that the kids were patient with me in my awkward trying to be a YouTube star. So it's really great that we have the ability to still connect, to still see each other, even if it's through a screen, but to really show and share. So we were able to just kind of like maintain that friendship community, and it was fun.
Hi, I'm Sophie and I'm a member of Arts. What I really like about Arts is that it keeps me really busy and I get to meet new people every day. My favorite thing about taking classes at Arts is that I get to have another class, and instead of having a bunch of homework that includes math and all of that, I actually get to have an art class for once and I get to meet my teachers. My transition from having classes at Arts to classes online have been actually really peaceful, and what my experience from learning from teaching artists is that I get to learn like 5 new things a day, so it's really fun and I really love it. Bye.
We're still in the gallery, and I'm really excited to introduce you to Rodney Anderson. He's another visual artist who is working with our 5th and 6th graders in his class called Comic Book Art. So here's Rodney in his own words to tell you about that experience.
Hey everyone, my name is Rodney Anderson Jr. Okay.
Do you want to hold the mic? We need you on the mic all the time.
Oh, the whole time. Okay. All right. Guys ready? Hey everyone, my name is Rodney Anderson Jr. I am a local comic book artist. I work right here out of the San Diego area and surrounding areas. I work professionally. I attend many conventions and kind of show off my art, so to speak. And I also work on a comic book, my first outing, solo outing as a comic book artist, called Trinity Blade. And I am new to arts as a teacher. I do teach art throughout the city, comic book art specifically, but this is my first semester at Arts, and it's been fantastic, definitely a very interesting experience, and but everyone, the entire staff has been welcoming to introducing a comic book art program specifically, which sometimes can be difficult for some schools to understand how this specific art form can benefit their kids. But I find every kid that gets involved with the comic book class comes out with some kind of skill set that they appreciate, and they have tons of fun. I have fun with teaching them what I know. As many people who come by the class will tell you, we get into some super nerdy situations and conversations. We go in on which Batman is our favorite, what superhero movie was cool. So along with all the fantastic artwork that the kids come out, they get to express their inner nerd. And for some kids, it can still be difficult to find a group of people to celebrate their niche with. And I find I get a lot of kids looking for camaraderie and friendship amongst this kind of nerd genre that we love. So yeah, it's been fantastic.
Walking through these, I think if we can talk about how you do this in the virtual Zoom world,
Okay.
making that transition would be good.
Okay. So starting off with most classes, I try to make sure that I encompass all levels. I'll typically have a mix of talent. Some kids who are who draw all the time and who want just a classroom of people who draw the type of stuff they do. And oftentimes I'll have mixed in with that group kids who have never picked up a pencil to draw before, or who are just sometimes adverse to art. They just like superheroes and comic book stuff, but they're kind of timid on actually going in and doing their own characters and their own thing. So I start everyone off at the beginning, basically gesture drawing, which I relate to them as fancy stick figures. And that's really what it is. I have tons of examples here. One of my star students, Leo, his gesture technique, he followed my instruction very well and really took to it. He was able to capture motion and movement and make his characters exciting on the page by following this super simple basic technique that you can really easily build upon. So I was very happy that he and many of the kids that took the comic class at Arts were able to follow that technique and use it and just rock it. They really had fun with it. Then we move on to designing the characters, because what's a comic without cool characters? And I try to make it really simple for the kids. Having a close-up of their character, what do they look like in their superhero costume, and kind of break down their look on the page so that it's easy for them to do the fun stuff, the crazy jumping, the action, that kind of thing. If they have a template for their superhero character or villain, they're able to use that and really take that character in any direction by having a standard of how that character looks to reference. So very cool. Yeah, and then once we get their story down, they'll go ahead and do a layout, a rough, small version. Here we have one from one of the students that focused on the current events, the kind of frustration some kids may be feeling now with the current pandemic. I wanted to give them room to be able to express their frustration with it. And the student here, Ethan, he focused on that and kind of had a little funny thing about the evil Mr. COVID being defeated, and I thought that was cool. Just a way through visual narrative to vent frustration. And that's what's great about comics, I think, especially in a school setting for kids. They can tell the stories that may be tucked away inside, but might be causing them stress and frustration, and they need an outlet. And definitely comic book art class is a way to express those feelings that might be pent up. And again, I really give it up to Arts for allowing a class like that. It really does matter, I think, for the kids.
Hey everyone, I'm Rodney, your friendly neighborhood comic book artist. I teach one of the comic book art classes at A Reason to Survive, aka Arts, and we just finished our 2020 semester. It's been a crazy one, but I thought to end things off, we should take a look back at some of the kids' artwork and the class overall. So, let's check it out. So we're gonna run through this one quick. All right. So circle. All right. Again, a line that represents our character's spine. Okay. All right. Then again, we do that shape that represents our character's chest and rib cage, right? All in one. All right, so we have that going. We have our upper body shape. Then we're gonna put an arrow at the bottom of our lollipop to figure out where our character's waist ends. Okay, so you put this little arrow here, okay, to figure out where your character's waist ends. And then this is where we can have the legs go up, right? Because the character's jumping, right? So when you jump, you use all your legs to get up in the air. Then remember, for the hands and feet, keep it simple, keep the shape simple. Squares for the hands, triangles for the feet. A special item is like my character Tal, his sword. His sword is his special item, right? Because he's a swordsman, so that's a special item. And then superpowers. Wow! Such cool characters and awesome, talented kids just beginning their journey to becoming superpowered pro comic book artists. While comic book stories have become popular as of late because of the movies, the art form itself is equally as important, especially now for kids. It can spark their imagination, and through drawing their characters and stories, help them work through frustrations and concerns they may have in their everyday lives. Plus, it's just super fun. And don't underestimate the need for fun. With our society practicing social distancing for the foreseeable future, kids are left with far fewer options for fun group activities. But programs like this comic book art class offer an activity that's fun and entertaining while also being educational that can be done in class or at home virtually. 1 minute. Smart artists are already drawing. I'm liking that. 1 minute starting officially right now. Okay, so I got 2 characters to draw. Super fast. People already done. You guys are moving fast. I like that. Here we go. We're about to move to our next panel and our next screenshot. The world changed in a really big way right in the middle of the semester. But the kids adapted and continued drawing their comics full of heroes, villains, all in crazy adventures. A quick way to clean up your layout is to just go over the things and the shapes that you like with a bold outline, okay? So good. Love that series. Tiny coats. Good stuff. I see the Batman Detective. Very good. Excellent. I want to give a special thanks to the parents. Thank you for letting your child be a part of comic book art class. Special thanks goes out to A Reason to Survive. Thank you for having me on board as a teaching artist this semester. Great job, kids. Keep drawing, keep reading comics, and everyone stay safe and healthy. See you guys.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the gallery and meeting Angie and Rodney. Just wonderful classes and the experience of the elementary age students. Before we move on to some of the other spaces, our music room and maker space and more, where you're going to meet our teaching artists who led classes with middle school age students and high schoolers. I want to take this chance to share the Giving Tree, which is behind us. Now, this is an old campaign that the organization ran, and I'd be remiss if I didn't look right in the camera and ask you viewers to help support this work. You're going to see our GoFundMe campaign on the screen. This kind of work doesn't happen with, as they say, rainbows and sunshine. It's going to take your dollars, your time, and anything that you can contribute for not only Arts at Home to continue through the summer, but really for our organization to thrive going forward. So I want to ask you to support our work, and if you're so inclined, amidst all the challenges that we're all facing right now, send us your support, send us your donation. We'd really appreciate it. You'll see in that campaign link, that GoFundMe link, there are a number of price ranges and things we'd like to do for you if you're able to support us, including inviting you here for a tour when we can, having lunch, even commissioning a work, a portrait or a song in your honor. There's a lot of things we can do to give back creatively, and we hope you find it in your heart to support us. So thanks very much.
Hi, my name is Maggie. I'm the volunteer coordinator here at Arts, and I'm here first and foremost to say thank you to all of our volunteers. So for any one of you who is watching or who can feel their ears burning while I'm talking, just know that you are really appreciated here at Arts. We could not do what we do without you, and we are really grateful for all that you've done this spring semester, both online and in person. So thank you, and for anyone watching who's interested in volunteering, let us know. You can email us at opportunities@areasontosurvive.org or just message us on Facebook or Instagram. We always make space here for people that are passionate about the mission and want to contribute in any way that they can. And if you want to hear more about what volunteering and interning is like here, just stay tuned for these testimonials, which are coming up. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Lisette and I've had the opportunity of having an internship at Arts this semester. Working at Arts has been such a great experience. Everyone's been so amazing to work with. Keep up the good work. I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Hi, my name is Marlene and I'm an intern at Arts, and my favorite thing about Arts is that I have the chance to be around so many amazing artistic people, the teaching artists, other interns, other volunteers, students, staff that are extremely artistic, and it's an amazing opportunity to get to know others and learn from their skills, their experience, their knowledge, and that's something that I'm very grateful and fortunate about, to be part of the Arts team. Thank you guys.
Hi everyone, I'm Connie, social media intern with A Reason to Survive, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for this opportunity. I've learned so much during my time with you, and I've had a lot of fun. Thank you.
Hi again, we're in the Hall of Inspiration, and we're about to go into the music room. I want to tell you a little bit about DJ and Sitlali, our music teaching artists. DJ led our songwriting class, and Sitlali led our violin and cello class. And while they're not able to be here today, we've got some great video that you're going to see in a moment to get a glimpse into what their class was all about. And again, the transition that everyone made from doing this in person to going online and learning and teaching and connecting via Zoom was especially challenging for music classes. Not only because students are working with instruments, but because, and for all you musicians, songwriters out there, you connect via your instrument. You need to be close to people. That proximity is so key. So we want to salute both the students and teaching artists for seeing this through and finding new ways to learn and teach and play together in a virtual space. So Arts has an amazing partnership with San Diego State. The SAGE project collaboration enables us to offer the violin and cello class. This partnership has been in place for a number of years now, and we're so fortunate to have Jessica Barlow, who's the executive director of the Center for Regional Sustainability at San Diego State, who heads the SAGE program, share some of the words about that partnership and just how important it is for the students from State to be able to get valuable teaching experience here at Arts.
But
thank you very much for any of the classes, any of your contribution. Really do appreciate it. You know, makes arts what it is, which is, you know, a reason to survive. And we thank you all very much. I thank you. She says thank you even though she's not saying it.
Thank you.
There you go. Not planned, clearly. But yes, thank you very much. You know, all the quote unquote kids experience all these great, amazing new things, and we really appreciate it. It's really great for all of us, and I think, you know, we just continuing it. It's great. You know, there's a lot of it that it's very hard to put into words, no matter how many words I can say per minute. But overall, we all get this human feeling of it, and it's for the betterment of us.
We are birds, spread our wings and fly away. We are different, not the same. Wouldn't want it another way. Hey, we can change. I had to change pitch there. I'm sorry. We can change who we are. Let's fly away from here. We are one and the same. We belong this way.
Déjame tomarte de la mano, déjame mirarte a los ojos. Déjame traerse mi mirada, darte todo mi esplendor. Déjame cuidarme aquí, déjame abrazarte ahí, donde guardas tus secretos, los más oscuros y los más bellos. Oh, they're trying to shoot down angels. They're trying to pull their wings off so they can fly. And oh, but she's so brave though, just like a tornado. She's taking us by storm. You can't stop the girl from going. You can't stop the world from knowing. Truth will set you free. Yeah. You can't stop the girl from going. You can't stop the world from knowing. Truth will set you free. Yeah.
What did you take away from teaching the class?
Nice. Look at this. And the student becomes a teacher. Really, like the big thing I took away was kind of like everything that's happening right now. I think what I was saying was, yeah, definitely like on the one end, like there's the student teacher, ATA, intern dynamic, but then I feel like every time we all sat down and had a conversation that it just like that idea of maybe there being some hierarchy like dissolved, it went away. And like at the end of the day, it didn't matter where we came from or what we stood for. We were just people having, you know, a people experience. We were just human beings talking like humans do. And aside from that, just really the fact that like we were all there to learn. Like I know there was lots of things going on in our lives even before this got extreme. There were just little things like, oh, I'm tired, I didn't sleep well last night, or I have this big, you know, homework assignment due, or I just straight up didn't get a chance to practice. Like to be able to be honest like that and to have that honesty from you guys and like all the students, just to like not fluff it up and be like, oh yeah, I practiced, when like you really only didn't. Like to have that honesty and that exchange, to be like transparent and vulnerable, I think that's definitely the the thing that I'm going to keep with me all the time. Is it's like it's okay to be vulnerable with people who are looking out for you, and when you have that kind of dialogue, you really get a deeper understanding of what it is to be people, and you can be honest. So I mean, really those things. And it was just awesome that like I didn't want to pressure anybody on like thinking reflectively and really just looking in, but each and every person kind of took it to, you know, look in and be like, you know, let's develop these ideas. Like I think you're sort of proof of that. Usually, yeah, you're definitely the proof of that, where it's like let's talk about something and let's go as deep as we possibly can, because we can. And even though our lives are sort of being overflowed with memes and kind of one sentence one liners, that like we can have substantial conversations, and that exists, and that's really cool, to know that that's alive and well, to know that thinking is alive and well. That's something that I'm taking from this, and I appreciate your contribution on that for sure, and everybody else's too.
I'm Jessica Barlow. I'm a board member for A Reason to Survive, and I'm also a professor at San Diego State University, where I direct the SAGE project. And I'm really excited to be here telling you about the SAGE Arts Collaborative, which is a partnership between the SDSU SAGE project, the SDSU String Academy, and A Reason to Survive. SDSU began a partnership with the City of National City back in 2013 through the SAGE project. And this is a program that focuses on connecting SDSU faculty and students with real-world community projects that focus on improving the quality of life for all, particularly our most vulnerable community members. And through this partnership with the city, we were connected with arts. And we began to explore ways to further connect SDSU students with the National City community through the arts. And so the SAGE Arts Collaborative was born. This collaborative, which started in 2015, has been supported by the Aztec Parents Fund and the Parker Foundation Grants for Public Good. And this collaborative provides SDSU music students with really valuable real-life teaching experience. With the support of the SDSU faculty member Travis Merrill, the SDSU students get to lead their own classrooms. And in turn, local youth get to learn to play violin or cello. And this past year, SDSU music student Citlali Zuniga Sanchez has been providing violin and cello instruction at Arts through the strings classes. And now you'll have a chance to hear the product of her hard work as well as that of her very hardworking students. Please enjoy.
Hi, I'm Madison Castro. My experience from learning with the teachers at Arts has been an amazing experience. I think when I started doing my cello classes, it was a very rough start. I didn't know what I was doing, and I could barely even say what the names of the strings were. Now I can play songs, even do a duet with my brother. It's been a really great experience because the teachers are so caring and attentive, and they always take the time to learn, and they have a lot of patience with the students. So it's been an amazing experience, and I think it's definitely worth seeing how amazing that the staff at Arts is.
Hi. So, what I have to say, my favorite thing about taking arts classes, specifically for my intermediate violin class, is probably how I was able to play the violin, which is an instrument I really do enjoy, and I'm able to learn more about music as a whole, so I can have more knowledge of my instrument and just how to like read sheet music. And hopefully I'll be able to take this farther into my life and use it for any other purposes, or in case I just want to have a better knowledge and understanding. Thank you for Arts for everything you've done.
Ready, go.
Hi, I'm Madison Castro, and today I'm going to be playing May's Song, which is a folk song on my cello. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Keegan Castro, and I'll be playing Allegretto by S. Suzuki. Thank you.
So you just saw those wonderful testimonials from some of our students, and I wanted to highlight Sabrina in particular. Sabrina's been a volunteer and an assistant teaching artist and a student in her own right, and has just been such a wonderful job. And the story you heard from her about what this space, this organization, this community and family of people has done to not only provide creativity in her life, but that community and a space to be herself. And I think not only offering a creative space, but a safe space is what we pride ourselves on and what we'll continue to do. These certificates of achievement, as you see on the table, we're going to be sending these out to all of the young people who participated. We're so proud of them. So to Sabrina and to everyone else, thank you for your testimonials. Thank you for taking part. And we look forward to seeing you in the fall. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit. Take that mask off again briefly. Here we are in the Maker Workshop. You're gonna have the chance to meet, again, some of our great teaching artists, Chris, and a little bit later, Omar. We've got a video of Ita, who's another one of our teaching artists, and his team that's been working on the project called Arthur, which has everything to do about plastic upcycling, and another project called the Earth Handbook, which is again about how to use recycled, upcycled materials to create new art projects and new materials for art making. I'm gonna start again. That was Rose a little rough. Hi again, welcome to our Maker Workshop. I'm excited to introduce you in a second to Chris, one of our teaching artists, and a little bit later, Omar, to talk about the work we do back here. This is an amazing space, very unique for the 20,000 square foot community arts center we run here. Chris is going to tell you about all the equipment we've got, the tools we have, and really the unique programming we're able to do in this space. Not only are these the classes available in the after school time for middle schoolers to learn those skills, but this is the room, this is the space, and these are the people who are so instrumental in our community arts program for the high school. So when you walk around town here in National City and across the South Bay, the amazing mosaics and bike racks and gathering places and benches and seating areas, all of that is a product of both the teaching artists and young people who do the great work back here in the maker space. So welcome, and here's Chris.
Hi, welcome to my little world. My name's Chris Shia. I'm the Maker Workshop lead here at Arts. We do a whole lot of work back here, a whole variety of things. We teach some traditional shop techniques. We have welding, woodworking programs that we teach the kids some basic shop tools. We also are this semester focusing on digital fabrication, so some 21st century skills that we're trying to get the kids into. We have 3 primary processes that we used over the course of this semester: laser cutter engraver, CNC, which is a computer numeric controlling cutter, and then a 3D printer. You can see behind me that there's a whole variety of work on the table, some from the students, some from our teaching artists. But sort of gives you a range of the various work that can be done using these technologies back here in the shop. As James sort of alluded, we've got several buckets that we do work in. The first is Arts After School, which is the kids that come in to work in the shop, learn some of these tools and technologies. That's kind of our traditional classroom sort of setting. Then we also have design challenges where we work with older students, primarily high school and community college age kids, where we do community-based work, projects. We did a project last semester at the airport. We did one with Sweetwater High School, a variety of work. And then the third, of course, is our community arts projects. As you have met or will meet, Nadia Nunez, who's our community arts manager. We operate back here as a support for those community arts projects. So we provide infrastructure, tools, we bring stuff to site, get some stuff to site, and build stuff that then goes out and gets installed. You'll talk to one of my colleagues here in a minute, Omar, who was instrumental this last semester in running the bike rack program. If you ever travel around National City or the South Bay, you'll see all kinds of funky bike racks out on the city. Those are all our kids. Just one example of the work that we do back here. Obviously, this semester has been a unique one in that with our classroom work, about mid-semester, we did need to switch over to distance learning, as everybody's been sort of struggling with. I won't shy away. It was a bit of a challenge. This is a new world for all of us. Luckily, some of the work that I was doing was digital already, so that we could then get student drawings, student work from home that they could send in to me, and then some of that could be produced here in the shop sort of remotely. But obviously it's a challenge. And in the future, I have a 12-year-old at home, and we're struggling with stuff to do, figuring out how to keep all this running. So I think this coming semester, we're going to take some of the stuff that we've learned here in the digital fabrication class and then pivot it more toward experiences that kids can have at home, kits that we can send out that the kids can come pick up so they have all the materials, and then we can work together via some sort of Zoom platform or similar live streaming to be able to then instruct them through the kits so they have some of that same maker shop experience but be able to do it safely at home. The only other thing I wanted to show you is obviously some of this work has been done on the 3 machines. Like I said, I wanted to at least give you a taste of one of those machines, and maybe we'll go over and check out the laser cutter engraver. So the stuff that you see in the foreground here, this is all laser cut engrave, and we're going to show that in just a minute. Some of the larger projects back here are the CNC, or computer numeric controlled. This is a computer-controlled cutting tool. It can cut up to aluminum. And obviously over here are some examples. You might be familiar with a 3D printer that you can actually create 3D objects in 3D virtual space and then print them out. So I just wanted to give you a brief taste of some of the technologies that we've been using back here in the digital fabrication space. To kind of walk you through the process, The students will be working at personal computers. We use GIMP and Inkscape, so they're free softwares, open source, so the students can then download and use the same software as they learn here in the shop at home at no cost. So the work process is we start over here with the students on one of our laptops or PCs. They do their drawings, generally in Inkscape. We bring it over here. This is our computer that's actually attached to the laser cutter engraver. We import their drawings, process them, and send that file to the laser cutter engraver here. And then probably just want to focus in kind of on this area here. Okay. And once that file has been sent over, we can go ahead and fire up the laser and show you how that works. What it's using is a series of mirrors and a 120 watt CO2 laser to cut through a whole variety of materials. In this case, it's a poster board, but we can do woods, leather, paper, all kinds of materials in here.
Chris and the students in the digital fabrication class were a great example of resilience in making that transition from having a great class in person here in this exciting makerspace to the shift online. How do you fabricate? How do you ideate? How do you come up with prototypes in a digital space? That's something we're going to keep working on as we continue with the Arts at Home online classes and continuing to make opportunities here in the makerspace available. What you just saw from Chris at the laser cutter is an example of the fruits of the designs, fruits of the labors of the students that participate. So it's great to see work like that being done here. You're about to see now a video from Ita Lilienthal from Casa Tamarindo, one of our partners. Ita and his team, who have been part of the project called Arthur, an acronym that is about how to upcycle responsibly. But the larger project is how to source plastic waste from our community and then transform that into the raw building materials to make art. As we're not able to do some of the machining and other elements of the Arthur project, what he and his team have come up with is something called the Earth Handbook that, again, looks at recyclable materials and is creating projects and kits that we will be able to send home and distribute so that folks can use those in their own homes and then tune in to live videos, tutorials with Ita and his colleagues to do those projects. So that's the next chapter for this summer and fall. So please enjoy Ita's video.
Hi guys, this is Anne with the Arthur team, just to give you an update on what we've been doing. So we started with our precious plastic recycling model, where we're going to build in-house machines to recycle, and that did have to be put on hold, but we did get a lot of educational information out there and resources during our community forum event, and also on Instagram about the life cycle of plastic, different ways to bring recycled plastic back into the supply chain, and recycling best practices. So hopefully you got to see some of that. And new stuff is on the way. We're in quarantine and shelter in place and have been thinking of creative ways to still make and create art without harming the environment and us.
Thank you, Anne, for that incredible update. For those that don't know me, my name is Ita from Casa Tamarindo. I have been working with arts for some time now to explore ways that we can bring more art and sustainability, Arthur being one of them. And yeah, as Anne was saying, and as all of you can imagine, this quarantine is kind of spun everything around for us. And with that, we've decided to focus on this really cool project that we started a month ago called EARTH, which stands for the Essential Artist Resource and Technology Handbook. And basically what this is an online, mainly open source website that has all the tools and materials that you would need to create art, not only from your home, but in a more sustainable way. So this is kind of our big vision for it. We started, one step at a time, creating entries that we can add to it. We created one digital booklet that we'll be sharing. And yeah, just adding to it. So this is gonna be our project for the foreseeable future. And we're super, super excited to do it. We'll keep you updated as long as you stay within our list of email newsletters, you will for sure be finding out more and more about it. But yeah, you know, things turn around, but we're very excited for where Arts for Home and all this is going.
Our next teaching artist is Omar, and he's an expert metal fabricator and artist in his own right. He's also a dad of 2 boys, and we're excited to hear Omar's story about the work he's doing in our community arts work. You're going to hear about the bike rack project and some of the other great things that he's doing here. And I hope he can tell you a little bit about what it's like to be a dad and inspire his own kids in their own creative journeys.
Hello everybody, my name is Omar and I am a teaching artist here in National City at Arts, and we are excited to show you a few of the samples for our bike racks in the city of National City. They are made and designed from the students at the Sweetwater High School students. Here is an example of one of them. And what we accomplished to do on this class is that we taught everybody from beginning to end, from the design to the purchasing to how to bid the project properly in order for them to learn from beginning to end how to fabricate it, how to put it all together, and how to work with each other. We're looking forward to start installing all of this bike racks pretty soon, and you will be able to see us around the city fairly soon. My background is I am a furniture designer, and I build furniture out of pretty much anything that I could find that works with each other pieces. It's called upscaling. My main medium that I use is airplane parts, and I love doing that for a living. I had the opportunity to work with a lot of really well-known restaurants, bars, clubs, boutique hotels, and now I'm giving back to the community to teach kids, because at one point I had that happen to me. Somebody took the time and the effort to come and teach me as a not so well-behaved young man and taught me the roots. So this is how I give back to my community. Learning the process of being a parent and showing my own children how to be artists, it has been an eye-opener to how to try to communicate something that it's very trying to teach something that it's very hard to teach. If you have it, you can polish it and you can become very well at it, or if you don't have it, it's really hard for you to learn it. But at the same time, if you do have those teachers who are there for you and support you and teach you what you need to know in order for you to become that successful artist, that's what we have here, and that's what I've been trying to teach my kids and my students. And I come here trying to give my own point of view, but at the same time I'm surrounded by this incredible artist, and it's been amazing. I hope that you can see beyond the scope of us being in a video right now, but it will be very important for your support, and this could go on not just for my only class, but for everybody's class, and we would appreciate very much all the help that we can get. Thank you so much for everything. Talk to you soon.
The last room for today is our visual arts room, and you're going to meet 3 more of our teaching artists. Maida taught experimental photography, Alonzo taught graphic narratives, Hill and Rob Tobin, who you're going to meet, tag teamed on a class called Restore Imagination. that you're going to hear all about. Welcome to the home stretch of today's open house.
Hi, my name is Mayra. I am the teacher artist for experimental photography. A little about me, I am a 2020 graduate. I forgot. And now? Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Mayra. I am the teacher artist for experimental photography. Little about me, I am a 2020 graduate from Miramar College. I am a criminology major, but photography has always been part of me. It's my third language. I am a prize scholar. Hi everyone, my name is Mayra. I am the teacher artist for experimental photography. A little about me, I am a criminology major from Miramar College. I am transferring to UCI for this semester, but photography has always been part of me. It's my third language. So my concept for experimental photography was basically helping my students to do that, experiment something new, try something different. We try to involve water, air, earth, and fire, as well as some recycling elements. But unfortunately, as we went transition to doing everything remotely, we had to move on to something different, the concept. However, for the first weeks, we tried to help them understand how the camera worked. We wanted them to know the features of the camera. I wanted them to know the different techniques, elements of design, and lighting. So for the end of each class, I tried to make them do different studios, mini studios as I call them. No? Okay. So at the end of each class, we try to do mini studios. For the mini studios, I give them the opportunity to set it up as they wanted to, but as we transitioned remotely, they start working with whatever they had at home. As well, instead of using the SL1 cameras, they had to use their phone cameras. So it was a little bit challenge for them and for me. It was challenging for them and for me, but as we move on class by class, we started getting more comfortable working remotely. It was more for them to improve as an expression and for them to be more creative and be more critical thinking compared to what we had at the beginning of the semesters. Later on, we start working more into what's going on around the world. So instead of giving them the objects, I give them ideas. I give them questions over the class. Instead of give them, let's say, a specific element, I just give them a question. For example, what's social distancing for you? And it was an opportunity for my students to express themselves, not only verbally, but as well through photography. And I think that gave them the opportunity to just come out of the shell and have the opportunity to still interacting with anyone else, even through Zoom. So I think that was the sparkle of my class for the end of the semester. So at the beginning of the semester, my students had the opportunity to set up their mini studios. It was up to them how they wanted the colors and the objects in the middle. At the end of every semester, we had our open house, and every student had the opportunity to choose their favorite 5 photos so we could print it out. These are from previous classes. Unfortunately, this semester we didn't print out any of the work, but we had different opportunities for them to come up to be creative as well. At the back, we have the digital cameras that every art student has the opportunity to work with. Every semester, the students have the opportunity to work with SL1's cameras, which is a great opportunity for them to actually start knowing what it is to work with a digital camera. And here at the end, we have one of the work from previous student. This is how we used to set up our open house presentation, but for this semester, we opted to do a video instead of an actual gallery.
special part in my heart, and it makes my life very wonderful. I fell in love with arts, and it fully changed my life. My favorite thing about taking classes in arts is that it's like very fun. You can bond with people, and there's so many ideas and like inspirations that just kept making me work towards just work towards my project or whatever I'm supposed to do. I'm learning with my teachers.
Yes.
Who guided me through the system and stuff. Was like it was very fun because like they were pretty chill. They were awesome. Yep. And they helped me a lot. And they led me to a lot of good things in my life, like actual successful drawings and stuff.
Being a part of arts has really been a big benefit to me, especially in my school and also my personal life. For one thing, for school, it provided a consistent source of community service for me, so that I'd be able to graduate. And then just being in arts and being able to develop my skills has really changed me into a better person than I was before I joined. My favorite thing about taking classes at arts and just being there is that I'm able to draw other ideas other than my own from other people, since I'm working along with them, and so I'm able to incorporate other ideas into my own work. My experience with so far at arts has been good. It's been very beneficial to me, and the people there are all very caring, generous, and willing to provide like classes that for free pretty much.
And I was actually gonna do an art performance where I actually draw out this Pokemon known as Oshawott. So I actually have it right here for you guys to watch, and it's actually teaching me how to draw. So this is the reason I'm doing this is because we're gonna use the resources we have at home and do a performance together. I actually wrote a little script, and it's always good to have a script so that when you're performing, it's like a template. Now, a performance in art does not always have to follow it a word for word, but it's always good to have some sort of pacing guide to show you what you're expecting to do. That way you're not caught off guard, and you can always continuously interact with your audience.
Hi guys, Alonzo Nunez here, teaching artist for graphic narratives and executive director of Little Fish Comic Book Studio. So this is a really exciting partnership between A Reason to Survive and Little Fish Comic Book Studio. We started in January. As you can see, the students started working on projects where they'd start conceptualizing stories, and we'd go through all the basics and fundamentals of comic books, from script writing to penciling to inking and all that stuff. And then, of course, the coronavirus hit, disrupting everything. But we had a core group of students that really stayed with us, started from beginning, right? Started from scratch. Nothing available on this side. You can see none of this was available for them to access. This all had to be abandoned. So they started over and really brought it together. And literally just yesterday, we finished printing their comic all in one 22-page book, Into the Coronaverse, named by the students. And they did an absolutely phenomenal job. And you can see here, these are the steps that go into making a comic. I always liken comic making to an iceberg, where you see the finished comic, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Underneath, you've got everything from the script, which looks a lot like a movie script. There's a lot of work involved, to character designs, where you're kind of deciding what your character is going to look like, what their environment's going to look like, what the world is going to be like, to what's called roughs or thumbnails in comics, and that's the rough draft, right? The conceptualizing everything, right? Working out ideas. How do I want to tell this story? And then finally, you get the final draft, and that's what you see in front of you. That example is by Carmelo, one of the students, one of my favorites of the bunch. But really, all the students did absolutely amazing work and did such a great job on this. It's really exciting to see how they persevered through this difficult time and used it to kind of inspire them and bring their comics and their ideas through to the home stretch. It's a ton of work. When I picked up the work from the students with a mask and gloves on, not one of them seemed like it had been an easy task, right? They all seemed a little bit exhausted and tired, but also incredibly proud and excited. None of these students had ever completed comic pages before, even those that love drawing, and so it's really cool to see all of it come to fruition through this exciting partnership.
Hey everybody, I'm Rob Tobin, a teaching artist here at A Reason to Survive. I've been with the agency since 2001 when I started as a volunteer and got to work with a lot of amazing kids over the years. Pretty excited about this partnership we had this semester with Habitat for Humanity Restore. They're located right down the street from us, so it was a natural beep. Sorry. Do you want me to start from the beginning or pick it up from the middle?
So it was not too far in, so we can start from the beginning.
Okay. What did I say? Hi, everybody. Who am I? Okay. What? This is so weird. Hey, everybody. I'm Rob Tobin. I'm a teaching artist here at A Reason to Survive. I've been with the nonprofit since 2001 when we just started working with a small group of kids at Children's Hospital and the Ronald McDonald House. And since then, I've stayed with it over the years of growth. This semester was very interesting. We had a great partnership with the Habitat for Humanity Restore, which is a place down the street here. It's kind of like a thrift store for building supplies. So what we did is I took the kids over there and we wanted to use their imagination to build these different sculptures. They're called monochromatic assemblage. And so the kids looked through all kinds of electronics and plumbing and construction items and supplies, and they came up with designs and put them all together to make these great pieces of art. So if you take a look behind me here, we've got some really nice mandalas and different sculptures, a lot of 3D work. So the kids had a great time. We pretty much just used a lot of hot glue, and then we spray painted them at the end. So I was lucky as far as the timing went. I had the first half of this class, which ended right before the coronavirus started, but then we went into Restore Imagination, which is the second half of the class. And my colleague Hill Young was the teacher on that, and she supplied us with a nice video that we'll go to.
Hi, my name is Hill Young. I am one of our teaching artists here at Arts. I'm the second workshop for the collaboration with Habitat for Humanity Restore. We began after Rob Tobin's class, and our class got to paint doors. So behind me are some samples of some of the doors. Not all the students got to finish though, because we had a pause as Arts had to close their doors for the pandemic. But many of the students were able to continue, and we jumped right into some virtual classes after a brief pause, and we took the theme of upcycling, working with objects that you would find in your house, and furniture, and brought it into a pretty cool project via Zoom and the virtual world. And that I'm going to show you in the next frame over there. Colorful, chaotic. Restore in Review, Spring 2020 at Arts. This is the zine made by our Restore class, showcasing snippets of colorful and chaotic bits of our class from the beginning to the end. Workshop in the arts and virtual classes. Here we go.
Hi everyone, my name is Nadia. I'm the Community Arts Manager here at Arts. And on top of everything great that we do here in this space, the community art class. Hi everyone, my name is Nadia. I'm the Community Arts Manager here at Arts. And on top of everything that we do in this great space, we also have a lot of great community art projects. We do a lot of murals, art installations. We do a lot of internships with kids in the community. One of our great projects that we have done is the 8th Avenue wall. So if you walk here on 8th Avenue, you will see this 300 feet long mural that has a lot of mosaic and animals and custom pieces that the community did. So we invite you to come check that out. We're going to have an opening soon, so we'll keep you posted for that. And we're also going to show you a little video about what we do in community arts. You can see all the youth, you can see all the people in the community being involved. So check out this video.
the importance of youth engagement, especially in this project for our youth. It's all about getting them involved, giving them an opportunity to affect change in their environment, to have ownership in their community, to have pride in their community, to provide for them opportunities for leadership, to really own and take control and take charge, to really give them the chance to do more positive things. And nothing engages the community better.
Hey guys, Sam Mazio here again, board member at Arts, and really just want to say again that it's really important to me and hopefully to you to support this organization, because art is, to me, one of the few things that can get me through tough times, get me through the darkness that we're going through right now. It really is the light to me in these types of times. And so, you know, this is me asking you guys out there that are watching, hopefully you've enjoyed the content and the videos and everything that we put together for you. And if you have, and you do believe in the arts, and I know that you do, please open up and give maybe a little bit to help the organization do the work that it does, help the kids that it does, and really just put more art out into the world. We need more of it, music, everything. I mean, look around you in the space that you've been watching through these videos. All of it is so tremendously important to get us through these tough times. So please, if you can find it within yourself, I know it's tough times for you out there too, but give if you can, because it really does help.
How did it become 5 o'clock already? What happened? Like, what did I do? I don't even know what I did today.
To you, just you though, a whole new world, dazzling place, a magic chair, check it out, and then like this face from Ada.
Since they started arts, positive changes, they became how do you call that one? Patients with all their projects. They became creative. They used this pandemic as like inspiration that amidst of this situation. Okay, arts makes a big impact in my kids' life. they're being patient with what they're doing, their hobbies. They're creating projects like out of the creativity, guided by the mentors, inspired by the mentors, and then the skills that they need to improve. It's just that I saw them like they're listening to you guys, like to develop more and to improve their skills and create whatever they can create. Or their artistic side, they want to improve it. So all the positive changes in spite of this situation, the pandemic, they didn't like think that this one will stop them from doing what they want.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the Arts Virtual Open House, our first virtual open house. Everyone behind you, this great cast of teaching artists, volunteers, interns, they're the lifeblood of the organization. They're the ones that make everything possible for the young people whose work you saw today, the videos, the music, the comics. It's an amazing organization to lead, and it's a privilege to work with everyone here today. We've got a busy summer ahead, and we've got a fall session starting in August 10th. There's a good chance that we're going to still be doing classes virtually. So Arts at Home will continue. Obviously, we're waiting like the rest of you to see what the reality of things is going to be in terms of reopening and coming back. As we know more, we'll share with you. But stay tuned for more Arts at Home coming in August. And thank you again for tuning in today. Bye-bye.